How do you price your coaching packages? You might have heard the advice, just charge what you're worth, but you've tried to do that and you're not succeeding, are you? Well, coaching isn't about you or what you're worth. Coaching is about transformation. In this episode, I'll show you how to price based on what you can deliver. And this works no matter how new you are. Let's dive right in. So the advice to charge what you're worth is just flat out wrong. Now, why is that wrong? You might have had a lot of examples that pop up in your mind that are telling me, no, Nate's wrong. This is not true. You need to charge what you're worth. Well, what determines your worth? If I were to hire person A versus person B, what would make one worth more than the other? Meaning, which one would be worth me paying more to? Would it be their credentials? Would it be their fame or their reputation? Would it be their track record of success? Which one has had more success? Or would it relate to me? Which one would help me accomplish my goal faster or better? Like, which one would help me succeed more? Do you see the difference there? So it's not about you, it's about your client. Just pick a number and be confident, right? That's another piece of advice that you might have found is, hey, just pick a number or double it, right? Double your price point and just be confident with it. Now, depending on the way that you have this set up, if you're charging an hourly rate or if you're charging for outcome, that advice is going to be right or wrong. Most people that are hearing the advice, it would be foolish for them to follow that. Let's just give a simple analogy. Let's say you've got an outdoor faucet, okay? So this spigot that has irrigation water, and you've got a hose, and at the end of the hose you have water coming out. Okay, that's the goal. When you turn on the spigot, water comes out at the end. But what if there are a lot of holes throughout this hose? Okay, so when you turn that on, there's only a little trickle of water coming out at the end. And then somebody comes along and looks at your problem and sees that there's only a little water coming out, and they say, just turn on more. We just need more water pressure at the source. Charge a higher price, right? Is that going to fix your problem? You might get a little more out of that end, but the problem is all the holes along the way. Start with premium pricing to be taken seriously. I've seen a lot of coaches and consultants do this. They'll start out with premium pricing because psychologically, if people see your pricing, then they'll think, okay, yeah, they're probably worth it, or you get what you pay for, right? But this won't last. This will come crashing down if you haven't actually helped somebody get from point A to point Z. Like, have you helped someone accomplish something really specific? What is that thing? What did they accomplish? What did they overcome? That result, that outcome is what's most important in your business, and you need to focus on that. And your potential clients, as you're talking to them, you need to focus on that specific outcome. Your pricing is determined by the value of that outcome. People that can't achieve it on their own, people that are struggling, people that have that goal and don't know how to get there, and you can take them by the hand and you can lead them there, how do they value that? What price would they be willing to pay? So you don't want to charge an hourly rate. It's common to hear $150 per hour. Don't do that. You don't want to sell coaching packages either. You don't want to sell a 6-session package for $1,000 or whatever the dollar amount is. Because again, that still doesn't focus on that outcome. For those of you that have been coaching or consulting for a little while and you've helped people, you have a lot more clarity on that outcome. If you're new and you don't have that track record of success, that's your number one priority. You need to help one person accomplish one specific thing. What is that thing? So as you're exploring and you're having conversations with people that are looking for help, looking for coaching, and they're deciding to help, well, what you need to find out is what is that one thing? What do they want to accomplish? It could be a revenue number. They're at this revenue, and after whatever period of time, they want to be at this revenue. Can you help them accomplish that? That's an easy example that I can quantify really quickly, but there's a lot of other things that you could have as that end result. Now, even if you need to help that first client for free and help them accomplish that result, that will be worth gold to you in the future. Even if when you form this arrangement and say, I'm not going to charge you, but at the end, I need you to write me a testimonial, or I need you to give me a video testimonial. That's how you'll pay me. Once you've got that track record of success and you've got that case study, you can now charge for your services. And it'll be fine if you start low. You can increase your pricing over time. The results are what matter to people. Now, if you're concerned of, well, if I announce this price, then in the future people are going to know that price and I'm not going to be able to charge the higher price. I understand that concern, and I'm just going to say that's not the reality. The problem that you might have in the future is if at the same time you're offering this pricing to this person, but a different pricing to this person. That can really backfire and that can really hurt you. Now, as you think about increasing your pricing, you may be wondering, well, does a higher price equal greed? Am I just wanting to get more money? Well, for many, many years in my business, I had all these expenses, my overhead, okay, and I finally made it to this point, and I thought I had a profitable business. So my income matched my expenses. That is not a profitable business. You've got to have your structure in place so that you have profit margin. Profit margin means you have money that you're putting in savings. If you don't have any money that you're putting in savings, your business is not profitable. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on that because you can take some of those profits, you can reinvest it in your business, but if you're always reinvesting, you're not profitable. Maybe your business is becoming more and more valuable, and there is a time and a place for reinvesting and for growth, but that's a topic for another conversation. We're talking about pricing. You need to have pricing integrity. That means that you give the same price to everybody and you don't offer discounts. Now, I don't know much about Black Friday deals or whatnot. If you want to send out a promotion that applies during a certain window, if you can find a way to make something like that work, then more power to you. But you just got to have integrity with everything that you do. If you want to attract people that will pay your price, you also need to have the authority to back it up. And there is a way that you can really be positioned as the go-to authority in your space. If you really would like to be able to increase the revenue in your business and become that ultimate authority, I'm going to link to another episode right there. It's called What is Authority Marketing? That video will be the perfect next step for you to learn what is authority marketing and how can you do it successfully. I'll see you there.